You all know how much I love conspiracies, reptilians, flat earth, the revival of JFK Jr. and his upcoming presidency announcement, 5G, Wi-Fi, reprogramming gamer DNA, fucking microchips hidden in our spaghetti. I love all of it. But what if I told you there's a new and growing conspiracy that makes all of these look rational? I'm talking about the secret space program. The secret space program, to break it down, is basically a group of people who believe that they were at one point selected by space Nazis to fight intergalactic threats, and they're augmented super soldiers that have lived on Mars for 300, 400 years in some cases. They command high-tech mechs like Gurren Lagann shit straight out of an anime. And it's people who genuinely believe this. They have their own seminars, the meet and greets, they have their own community. I was recently made aware of this thanks to a YouTuber named Oki's Weird Stories, a fantastic channel, and a lot of work went into a video he produced where he talked about and infiltrated this conspiracy group. It's truly amazing. We watched it on stream, and I'll play clips of that now. But I'd encourage you to watch the full video to get like the absolute all-encompassing experience, because I can't do it justice. There is so many layers to this onion, not even Shrek could get to the bottom. It's fucking amazing. But my god, I was blown away by what I was seeing and learning. So I've of course done my own research on it now, and it is even better than I could have possibly imagined. The secret space program is where LARPing, fanfic, and main character syndrome all collide into this singularity, this fucking supernova of entertainment. It is amazing, and it wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable if people didn't actually believe it. From everything I can see, this isn't some kind of joke movement or anything. Like, of course you have the fun ones like birds aren't real, but you all know, and not to spoil the surprise or ruin Christmas, tell you Santa's not real, the birds not real movement is made as a joke. And I know that's kind of blasphemous to say, but in comparison to the secret space program, which is taken very seriously.
Person for the White Dragon Society. With me here is Chodoin Daikaku. He's the head of the world's martial arts societies, and if necessary, and in an emergency, he can summon up an army of 200 million people worldwide.
This guy? This guy looks like a sex doll. Is there a human being here? Or, like, the quality's so bad I can't even tell. Is this flesh? He can summon up an army of 200 million people, and he's the head of the world's martial arts committee?
Here on my right is Alexander Romanov, who is a grandmaster of an Illuminati group that claims to have started the French, Russian, and American revolutions.
Wow!
Imagine if someone told you they lived out the plot of the movie Total Recall. That they thought they were living a regular life until one day they recovered memories of being a secret agent fighting an evil organization on Mars.
I'd say that's a fucking good man.
Who is an Akashic reader, healer, and telepath. And he also remembers being in a facility that trained his shapeshifting abilities, in which I was also a participant of. He recalls experiences
Can you still
as a
shapeshift?
super soldier in Kruger, and has done training missions with zombies and vampires.
Well, there was one kid.
There were zombies and vampires on Mars?
There was another a female that
surely we could
turned
cure
into an eagle,
zombieism,
and that was used for surveillance. I myself was a blue wolf.
Upon realizing this, I started to formulate a plan. What if I made up a story about being in the secret space program?
Well, that's all they do.
James' show
Yeah.
and share it
See,
with his community.
That's easy.
And that's how I finally found an angle that compelled me enough to make a video about this topic.
You don't join the SSP, swine.
So if my
You
goal
were
still sounds too
chosen.
vague to you, I set up a criteria for 2. Get onto a major platform.
We'll
within
just
the
say you're part of the
community as
Blue
a
Wolf
whistleblower and share my
shape-shifting crew.
experience. I developed
Easy.
this criteria after thinking what's required to become an SSP whistleblower. Before World War II, the Nazis, who were interested in mysticism and alternative views, searched the planet for fantastical powers. They found Maria Orsek, a medium and leader of the Vril Society, who channeled Nordic and Draco reptilians who offered the Nazis the schematics behind anti-gravity technology and UFOs. The Draco reptilians told the Nazis about ancient alien technology hidden in Antarctica, and in 1938, the Nazis traveled there. And by 1950, the Nazis were on Mars.
The new Schwabenländers didn't want to support Hitler at the end of the war because they considered him.
Let me catch up on the lore myself here at base 211. The new Schwabenlanders. Was that like a real division in the Nazi Germany, or is that just what the secret space program made up? The new Schwabenlanders. No evidence. Bro, we don't use the E word when we're talking about the secret space program. We just feel it. They have unlocked memories. Dumbass. Evidence. Fuck. What are you? Huh? Some kind of science believer? Idiot.
Insane in the
This
final
guy has lived for
solution.
330
So it was
years on
already a
Mars.
split.
In
Okay?
SSP
You don't
lore,
understand.
The Nazis capable of space and
facts
time travel
yet.
became the Fourth Reich.
You don't have
And
the
they pissed off
lived
to Antarctica in
experience.
space while refusing to proceed and began an aggressive expansion out into the solar system, setting up
So is the
bases
entire
on
secret
moons
space
around
program
Saturn,
Nazis?
the Kuiper belts, and etc. Capable of time travel, the space Germans also traveled back in time to settle on planets around the galaxy.
In their own lore, they made themselves Nazis? Why? So they're part of the new Schwabenlanders? Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go say goodnight to Tiana. And then maybe interrogate her to see if she's part of the secret space program and she's lying to me.
Offering services to help recover secret space program related memories. At the top of the list was James, and for $200 USD, I could book a guided meditation regression session with him.
Draco reptilian humanoid hybrid, and then I think I also got like Anunnaki. MA.
Do you know who you might have been in a past life?
Have you heard like the Black Samurai Yasuke?
You were a samurai?
Yeah. Dude, hold on. I'll show you something. Check this out.
That's pretty dope. And I was a gladiator.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Oh,
The
wow.
goal here, I want us.
He
to
could
get
learn
to
a lot from
hyperspace.
James.
Let's put a gold sheet thought into it. Just imagine what do you think?
Imagine
would be
Oki just
behind
becomes a
that?
real
So
believer.
let's start with that, and tell me what you see.
I see Kevin Spacey or his clone.
Paul Serene, he was on the governing council of the ICC. So his clone is Kevin Spacey.
We're in a gymnasium.
Wait, what?
It's
So wait, is that part of SSP lore? Kevin Spacey is like a figurehead in the secret space program? Oh, okay. So Monarch is responsible for human trafficking, sex, mind control, experiments, and chemtrailing. I knew it. Fucking Kevin Spacey was behind it all. That son of a bitch. Evil bastard thought he got away with it. Didn't expect us to be hot on his trail. Luckily, we broke away from Atlantis, though, so we cut the connection. But Kevin Spacey himself is a clone of Paul.
We're in I think I see.
Oh,
the
nice. Thanks for the rubber
YouTuber
feed.
Mr. Beast.
Today, we will be planting 20 million trees.
Okay, so they're probably programming him. But he's the guy that was near to give away a bunch of free stuff on the videos.
Yeah.
They must have looked into his future and okay.
So a few days later, I traveled to Las Vegas and landed at around
What?
12 p.m. after a 4-hour plane ride.
Man, he went all in for this video.
I'm here.
Traveled
in
fucking
Las Vegas
5,000 miles for a
Cosmic
45-minute
Consciousness
interview.
Disclosure 5D events.
This is going to be an exercise in patience for me.
No, this is going to be an eye-opening experience for everyone. We're all going to leave here thinking we're super soldiers from space.
The golden nugget.
And experienced this up on the starship.
Is
I've
he the
been there
only one
several
here?
times. I spoke with the commander, the Arcturian commander, who I am connected to.
That's how we connect?
This concert, this Travis Scott concert, where 800 people were injected with these drone mosquitoes. You know, you see
Oh,
that,
wow.
they can go around.
So that's
and
what
inject
happened.
people.
Jesus Christ. It is... Whoops. It is so hard to believe that people like that exist, man. Not only exist, but have other people that believe them. Like, they have influence over other people. That's fucking wild. Think about that for a second. I've said this a million times. No matter how stupid you are or how outrageous your beliefs, you will always have an audience thanks to the internet. You will always find people that agree with you, support you, worship you, or just at the very least provide camaraderie in a positive echo chamber because you were connected to everyone at all times through Twitter and Facebook. So that guy who thinks at the Travis Scott concert 800 people were injected with, what was it? Some super space mosquitoes or whatever. He's got 100 other people in his Facebook group that all think the same thing. Wild.
We get to go to How to Become a Jedi Warrior.
I'm excited about that one.
That should be,
gonna be
that should be
amazing.
productive.
Unfortunately, when we showed up to the How to Become a Jedi Warrior workshop, no one was there, not even the speaker, so it was canceled.
We just got in here. We have no idea.
Oh man, what the
anybody
fuck?
is.
Well, they're too busy having sex, I
Yeah,
bet.
just gave up.
On Mars.
Quantum spoon bending, parentheses, bring your own spoons, close parentheses.
And the quantum spoon bending lesson was underwhelming since, instead of learning how to bend a spoon with our minds, we were instructed to physically do it with both hands.
What the fuck? It's real! Oh my god.
While walking around the venue, I noticed that James had sent me a text inviting me to his hotel room for an interview. Suddenly, a wave of anticipation and euphoria washed over me. This was it. Finally, after several months,
He ends
the
up
moment
getting
I was
like
waiting
Harvey
for arrived.
Weinsteined by James.
I ran back to the workshop room, found Night Docs, filmed the interview, and to get to Jay's hotel room as soon as possible.
Night Docs,
Time
go
was
with
of
him.
the essence.
Keep him safe.
Therefore, being late
Oh
was
my
not an
god.
option. Night Docs, who was behind me, was still trying to attach
super
his
soldier's
camera to a
unpredictable.
gimbal, which would not fit. By then, any nervous anticipation I felt leading up to this face-to-face sit-down had completely dissipated.
Yeah, you
I
just
was
get to
calm,
come in here
knowing
and
that I was more than
make
prepared
some
to
shit
speak
up.
about my time in the secret
Have some
space
fun.
program in a convincing manner. The interview lasted 1 hour, and here's what happened.
Okay, so my name is Oki. So it started from before I was even born, where they genetically enhanced my DNA. And by the time I was 6, I was put into a special program run by Monarch. I was under direct tutelage of Paul Serene, Kevin Spacey's clone. There was 12 children.
Oh my god. Luckily, James didn't pick up on that. He just got the lore wrong. Paul Serene is not the clone of Kevin Spacey, Oki. Kevin Spacey is the clone of Paul Serene. Oh my god, the whole operation just went tits up. There's no way James didn't just... Oh my god, there's no way James didn't pick up on that. Oh my god. He blew it. He fucking blew it. SSP's on his tail now.
Who were trained
He's hunted.
directly
He's a
under
hunted
him,
man.
including myself and the YouTuber Mr. Beast.
So
every method they could to use MK Ultra programming and to create killing machines, and I was able to just look at a photo of a target and make their head explode. Because I mean, there was billions of dollars spent on each and every single one of us. I particularly liked
That sounds like Kevin Spacey's research.
I liked my my 2 daggers. I had a form of EMP that I could take out there.
He's a Reddit assassin.
In my past life, I was
on Mars.
Yasuke, the Black Samurai.
did any of your clones ever get changed into a zombie?
I had a clone.
I like how that's one of James' core questions. Have any of your clones been changed into a zombie? James makes it sound like he doesn't even know what the fuck a zombie is. He makes it sound like it's a state of mind. The clones would have to die first, James, and then Kevin Spacey and Paul Serene would have to do a fusion dance in order to bring out the proper necromancy on Mars at the Knockwaffen to revive them, for them to be zombies, James. Jesus Christ. He's getting lost in his own sauce. He's not even following his own rules in the secret space program.
That clone actually was fighting zombies and vampires, and there was also Yetis that they were fighting.
What about vampires? Do you recall any scenarios fighting vampires?
He just said that, James.
This particular thing.
He's killed 1,000 of them with his bare hands.
Is that they can't help but count. From what I remember, most clearly is
He
that
wanted
I
that
do
so
have
bad.
many different clones of myself with used pretty much as like kamikaze pilots.
Typically, at least what I heard, black people require a different protocol of brainwashing.
Time flew by, and I was
That's-
struck by the
The
effortlessness of
the super soldier is many things, but a coward he is not. He will ask the hard-hitting questions. He will go where no other space program super soldiers will.
story which I crafted. I spoke for 1 hour.
He actually
with ease
fucking
and
said
told my
that.
story so coherently. I was playing a role, and even though I created the role, while I was performing it, it was like a switch in my brain went off, and everything I said felt real.
That's
At that moment, I
100%
managed to
true.
delude
That's how it
myself and
works.
Speak matter-of-factly about
That's
being
why these
trained by
communities
Kevin
exist.
Spacey's clone, along with Mr. Beast. Whistleblower testimony that they've heard on James's channel so far, and one person even said that they cried the whole way through the video. So that's that.
Oh my god. Hold on, I want to read that. I'm so sorry you had to do that. Thank you for your bravery. Oh man. God, like, to a certain extent, I feel bad for them. Not in particular the secret space program, like them too, but in general, people that truly believe these things, like wholeheartedly separate themselves from reality to exist in this new made-up world. It is sad to a certain level. God, that was amazing. This is criminally underrated for the work that went into this. Dude flew out from Canada to Las Vegas to a secret space program meeting in order to have an interview with the #1 figure in secret space program super soldier lore. The 330-year-old ass-beating, ass-eating super Goliath James. I used to make fun of flat earthers. I thought it was all just a bunch of bullshit until today. Today I found 2 very convincing videos that grabbed me by the dick and led me towards the light. Evidence so compelling it's opened my third eye. I'm going to share the videos with you, and I trust that you will also now become part of the flat earth cult as a result of watching these videos. This shit's powerful.
Hi, flat earthers. Y'all know me, right? I am here just to tell you something. I want you to stay flat. Because if you don't, then the next generation is gonna suffer. Eh? Remember, flat.
When I saw jolly old Saint Nick preaching the good word of flat earth theory, I knew maybe this wasn't bullshit. Maybe there was something more to this. There's only 2 people I trust, and it's Santa Claus and Logan Paul. Both of them believe in flat earth. Maybe there's something to this. It's like the old Christmas jingle goes. Santa Claus, he'll fuck your bitch. Miss Saint Nick can suck a dick. Milk and cookies, fuck that shit. Leave him flat earth and a bottle of piss. Not a bad freestyle. What I'm saying is, fucking Santa Claus knows what's up. And if Santa Claus believes in flat earth, maybe I should too. So I started watching videos from the experts in the community, and then I finally found one that puts NASA to shame. Evidence that's indisputable, extremely compelling evidence, and I'm going to share it with you now.
Don't worry though, there is a way to scientifically prove that the Earth is flat, and it's a pretty simple experiment. I'll explain with the Lego Earth. Here we have a small flat Earth.
I think that's about all we need to see here. Checkmate, round earth sheep. Was that a little too much for your little reptile brains to comprehend? When the Lego set comes out, that's when you know shit's getting serious and scientific. I remember when Isaac Newton first proved gravity's existence using his Lego set and the world was blown away. And now, this pioneer is doing the same, proving flat earth is true.
RenderForest.com.
It was actually this video right here that convinced me without a shadow of a doubt that the earth is flat. Now, the symbolism here and the little nuance of the video game he's created might go over your head if you're some primitive round earther, but if you've opened your eyes, if you're a euphoric being like myself, who can see that the world is obviously flat, you would understand what the creator is trying to say here. He's like a fucking Mozart here, playing this beautiful symphony of truth with flat earth. You have to be injecting heroin to think the world is round and is spherical. It's the stupidest thing in the world. You have to be out of your mind, literally, to think that the world is round. Now, if you go into the comments section, some blasphemer was saying that the world is absolutely round, but luckily, this brave hero was able to disprove him with some just downright straight fucking facts. Just laying down a butt fucking of facts into this man's butt fuck hole. And with a name like Unbelievable Productions, you knew you didn't stand a chance in a debate against him. He will unbelievably butt-fuck you, especially with his production value like this. Now, let's get serious for a moment. Yeah, Flat Earth is a big fucking joke. The content they produce on YouTube is some of my favorite because there's shit like this and it's always super enjoyable to laugh at. But I do think the movement as a whole, which is somehow gaining steam, is super dangerous. Thinking the Earth is flat, that's fine if you want to be some type of fucking troglodyte. I don't care if you believe that. But it's the idea that science is wrong and denying science where I get upset, and that's what's genuinely detrimental to society. Anti-vax and flat earth, they're basically the same thing, but for some reason they hate each other and think the other one is fucking dumb. But they're the same. They're born from the same idea that science is wrong and hurting us. And that's dangerous because these fucking idiots can't recognize that science is the only reason they're even alive today, because half of these goddamn idiots would have already died fucking choking on a rock they ate because they thought it looked appetizing, or bathing in sewage and getting an infection, perhaps eating a block of plutonium because it smelt nice. These people would be dead without science, and yet for some reason they're the first to turn around and bash it and say it's wrong and a lie. Logan Paul, I don't think believes flat earth. I'm 100% certain he's just there to capitalize on the money there, sell some maverick flat earth merch to them, because these fucking idiots have so much disposable income that they seem to just want to get rid of all of their money, tossing it at lunatics building rockets in their backyard. So Logan Paul's smart to get into that market, and I don't think many of the people in the Flat Earth Society actually believe it. Like I said, I think they're just there to capitalize on all the disposable income they all seem to have. And you know what, that's completely fine by me. If you want to take money from these Tide Pod eating douchebags that are just too fucking dumb, I don't really mind, because they genuinely are promoting a dangerous idea to the impressionable children that science is evil and always lying to you. Don't believe science, just believe us. It's this weird indoctrination shit, a very strange cult. But yeah, anyway, what I wanted to really talk about today was the beautiful content they produce, and I really hope they do keep making these because I watch them pretty often. And I wanted to make this today because the big news about Logan Paul being a flat earther and the flat earth movement is really growing again. I'm seeing a lot of posts on Facebook from dumb friends of mine in the past like, here's the truth, removing anyone that doesn't believe, bless up, 100 emoji. Just shit like that. But keep up the great content, flat earthers. It's always nice to laugh at. And good shit. See ya. Yeah, I love conspiracy theories, but this shit is getting out of hand. There's a new insane conspiracy every single day, just some wacky, goofy shit. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fucking group on Twitter that thinks Reptar cereal is the instrument of Hillary Clinton to brainwash children into worshiping the devil or some garbage. You see it all over the internet every single day with these people that like to think that they're so special and intellectually enlightened that they have opened their third, fourth, and fifth eye, they've awakened their Sharingan, and now they're seeing the truth behind everything. There's nothing wrong with questioning things, it's extremely healthy and extremely important to do, but when you question every single thing ever and discredit science and come up with some actual diarrhea dog shit, maybe you're the crazy person. Like, you have people saying, water's evil. In fact, we've been lied to all our lives. The human body doesn't require water. In fact, water was cursed by Bill Gates over 3 millennia ago, and we're not even drinking water. We're drinking a mind control potion that Bill Gates has got to us. In fact, the only fluid we should be consuming is a Diet Coke via enema. Please join me, enlightened brothers, and you'll have like 50,000 people on that Facebook page that all agree with that. It's just crazy shit. Like the Wayfair conspiracy is another big one where everyone said they were human trafficking people in fucking wardrobes and shit and pillows. It's actual nonsense, but everyone likes to think that they're seeing the truth, which is what makes conspiracy so appealing. And once you get ingrained in a conspiracy, once you start believing in it, you're never going to change that belief, or at least the majority of people don't. Like flat earthers, for example. Flat earthers are like Looney Tunes villains that can't do anything fucking right to support their point. Flat earthers in their own documentaries have proven themselves wrong multiple times and then just throw that away. Like in the end of the most recent documentary I can think of on flat earthers, they proved the earth is round with their own experiment and they said, that's interesting. Must have done something wrong. Even doing their own experiment perfectly correct and proving the earth was round, they just said, no, it's still flat, even though this proved it was round with our own science. You can't convince people of these things because they just don't want to believe it. They'd rather stay believing in some garbage to make themselves still feel like they're special. Like people that think the moon is fake, you could literally fly them to the moon and they would say it doesn't exist. They'd say you drug them and just put them in Nevada on a CGI set or something. No matter how many times and how thoroughly these awful conspiracies get debunked, people are always going to believe them. It is what it is, so now I just kind of enjoy the chaos of it all, and there's been some absolute bangers when it comes to bullshit conspiracies recently, like spirit cooking is a really good one. There's also a wild one about the tablets of Thoth being used to resurrect an ancient deity from the underworld who's going to rise and exterminate Earth for its sin. Another really cool one I've been into is that Atlantis is real, and the previous god of Atlantis is very upset with the state of the world, so to get back at us, he started cloning celebrities. I don't know how exactly that, punishes us to just clone celebrities, but apparently that's what the god of Atlantis is doing, according to a bunch of people. It's just some really fucking incredible stuff. Like, these conspiracies make Sonic the Hedgehog fan fiction sound sane. And when I mention conspiracies like this, it's not like one person who's having some kind of bad acid trip and writing this shit down in some kind of journal. It's communities of people that believe this. I'm deep into conspiracy Facebook groups and stuff, just kind of reading about all of it and getting a little bit of a giggle out of it. But admittedly, it is sad to see people genuinely believe some of these things and be fearful of this boogeyman who's coming from like the 12th dimension as a time-traveling pedophile to steal away people's families or something. It is sad to see people kind of believe these things and act so out of fear online about shit that absolutely isn't true at all. But that being said, I thought it'd be fun to add some fuel to this fire here, and I'll bring up a conspiracy that I believe in. I'm sure some of you might remember this. Berenstain versus Berenstain Bears. I made a video on this a few years back, kind of blowing this shit wide open and spreading the cheeks of this conspiracy to get into the meat of it. And I think it's time in the current climate of things, we reopen this one. We gotta open this wound up again and pour some salt on it and figure out what the fuck is going on. So to break down the Berenstain versus Berenstain Bears conspiracy, growing up, there was a very popular book series called the Berenstain Bears. Or at least that's what the government and the reality puppeteers would have you believe. What I remember growing up, having written reports on this book series, was it was always called the Berenstain Bears. And the majority of people in my age range, 25 years old, also remember it as Berenstain Bears. However, if you check the so-called official records and the history of this planet, you'll realize that it's never been called the Berenstain Bears. It's always been Berenstain. There wasn't some kind of rebranding from Steen to Stain. It has always existed as the Berenstain Bears. When I learned about this, I went back through all of my Berenstain Bears books to see, for proof, look, it was called Berenstain, only to realize in shock and horror that my once authentic Berenstain Bears books had been subtly changed to Berenstain. As if some kind of adjustment bureau, some kind of, legion of tooth fairies or something came in when I wasn't looking and they very subtly changed the name to Stain over Steen. Semi-chubbed and in a panic, I began searching throughout the entire internet for proof that it was once Berenstain Bears in this corporeal dimension we inhabit. However, everything points to the fact that it was always Berenstain Bears. So then what's the explanation? Well, most people chalk this up to the Mandela effect. For those that don't know, the Mandela effect is when a large group of people remember events differently than they actually occurred. Basically, it's just a large group of people that misremember something, and oftentimes when faced with the truth, people say the truth is wrong because they have these vivid memories that don't match up with it. And yes, memories aren't the most reliable source when it comes to figuring out what's real and what actually happened. However, in this case, fuck you. I am not wrong. You can hold my nutsack in your goddamn mouth. It was definitely Berenstain Bears at some point over the last 25 years. Like I said, I used to write reports on these goddamn things, and I used to write it as Berenstain Bears, because I didn't know what the fuck Steen was, but I knew what a stain was, obviously, because I was fucking staining my diapers with fucking shit constantly, so I knew what a stain was. So I'd write Berenstain, only to lose points on my reports, teachers just fucking scratching it out. Charlie, you're never gonna make it in college with this kind of garbage. Because they said it's not Stain, it's Steen, so I'd lose points, and then I got it really fucking ingrained in me that it's Berenstain instead of Stain. So this has like a personal connection with me. I fucking know it. I still believe it. And so, what is the other explanation? Well, a lot of highly intellectual truth seekers believe that at some point in the last 25 years, the multiverse has collapsed in on itself. So the multiverse theory suggests there's infinite number of universes, and at some point in the last 25 years, our Berenstain timeline collapsed on top of the Berenstain timeline, causing subtle changes in the two as we transformed into this Autobot of disappointment. And that's why we're left with Berenstain instead of Steen, and only some of us remember it as Steen instead of Stain. The chosen few, the cream of the crop that remember it as Berenstain. So there's a fun little conspiracy to play around with, I think. Hey, that one's got some meat to it, I will say. The Berenstain versus Berenstain one that one's near and dear to my boners. Like, that shit I think is really weird. Because, like I said, I really do remember getting points off for writing Stain because I thought it was Berenstain as a kid, but I was told it was Berenstain. And I wish I could find those reports, but obviously I don't have homework from 20 years ago. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. See ya. What are your thoughts about the whole eclipse situation on April 8th? So many political and biblical theorists are going nuts about it. What the fuck are you talking about? What kind of... Like, I understand maybe going, like, rapture for that, like going down that path. We've seen that before. But what do you mean political theorists are going nuts over the eclipse? What could that possibly be in a political sense? What do you mean? It sounds like some absolute made-up nonsense on TikTok. How the eclipse ties into the Clintons or something. Bro, I work at a hospital and we're planning for it like it's the apocalypse. That is so concerning to hear. You work in a place of science. Why would you be planning for an eclipse like it's about to be doomsday? What? Okay, is there something special about the April 8th eclipse? What's happening? Is the Fire Nation about to attack with Sozin's Comet? Like, I'm so confused. What? It doesn't even seem like it's particularly special. I mean, here's what not to do during the total eclipse on April 8th. Total solar eclipse on April 8th. Millions of people from Texas to Maine preparing for a once-in-a-lifetime event that want to ensure they enjoy it safely. Total solar eclipse happens when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, completely blocking the sun's face for up to several minutes. Do not look directly at the sun. You don't fucking say, huh? Except for the lucky people in the path of totality, it is not safe to look directly at the sun without proper eye protection, and sunglasses won't cut it. To safely view the total solar eclipse in 2024, you'll need glasses with solar filters, also known as eclipse glasses, or with handheld solar viewers. According to the American Astronomical Society, those glasses or handheld solar viewers need to meet the ISO 123122 international standard for direct sun viewing. Only when the sun is covered completely will it be safe to remove eclipse glasses, and they must go back on before the partial eclipse resumes and portions of the sun become visible again. Even if clouds obstruct your view during the April 8th total solar eclipse, special glasses or handheld viewers still need to be used. Cloud cover is not enough to protect your eyesight from the sun's rays. Classic fucking deep state trying to prevent me from getting superpowers from staring directly at this total solar eclipse. I'm not going to let the government dictate what I do and do not wear when looking directly at the sun. TikTok wasn't around in 2017, so we didn't get all the brain rot eclipse takes. Can someone... To the guy who said there's a lot of political theories regarding this total solar eclipse, can you send me one? Like tweet me one real quick so I can take a peek? Because what in the world? I don't understand. I can't even wrap my noodle around how that could make any sense. Employees at my dad's workplace said their local priest told them that the eclipse will result in 3 days of darkness, which is what allegedly starts the apocalypse. See, like, that kind of stuff I get. That happens all the time, anytime there's a solar eclipse. Like, there was that radio host who convinced his followers that rapture was coming in a month, so everyone quit their job, bought an RV, and went on a road trip and waited for themselves to die, be taken to heaven. And it didn't happen, and the radio host was like, damn. Must have got some wires crossed, I guess. Like, that happens all the time. Big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. You know how much I love Opera GX. If you ever tune into any of my streams, you'll see Opera GX exclusively being used because it's the browser I use for everything. I think it is the best in the business. It has tons of fun customization features to really make it feel like your own. It has a ton of really useful tools like a built-in ad blocker, which really comes in handy with the modern landscape of the internet, which is basically unusable without an ad block. And it has a lot of other really helpful tools, such as the ability to import your current settings from whatever browser you're currently using into Opera seamlessly, which makes it super simple, super seamless. Just very great browser all around. It's also very light, so it's not going to be tanking your performance if you're playing games while having Opera open. You can keep all of your messaging apps in the Opera browser, so it's nice and convenient. Also, there is a mod for me in there. I have my own Opera GX mod, and it gives you a wallpaper and some really fun themed sounds around myself. Yeah, baby! So yep, I think it's good fun. The Critical Moist mod goes pretty hard. Again, big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Definitely check them out in the description. Remember when the world was supposed to end in 2012? Yeah, but at least that one had, like, historical backing because of the Mayan calendar. I remember being a stupid kid back then, and I was like, man, the world really might end. Like, I get that. You go back and look at the Mayan calendar. They were very smart people. The calendar ends here. It must mean that's when the world ends. Pack it up, I guess. I was a freshman in college during that point, and I was still a virgin, and I was like, damn, it's gonna suck dying a virgin. I did everything I could to make love before that day came, the day of judgment. I used to go out every weekend praying for the best. But when that day rolled around in December of 2012, I spent that day playing Halo 4 with a buddy of mine, knowing that if I'm sailing into Valhalla, it's going to be in the saddest manner possible. The Eclipse is just Joe Biden's domain expansion. That's why there's political theories. Yeah, it's Dark Brandon. He's casting his infinite Tsukiyomi. So fucking cool. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the level of the political theories on it. Oh wait, there was more to this. Solar eclipse travel could be treacherous. What, like driving at night? Like driving in some darkness? For those living in the narrow path of totality, little if any travel will be necessary to take in the full astronomical event. However, people across the US and likely the world will descend upon communities that aren't used to the popularity, and that has officials concerned. So much so that cities and towns have issued disaster declarations or declared states of emergency, while others have decided to close schools due to the expected increase in traffic and to keep kids safe from distracted drivers during dismissal time. I see. So this is why your hospital's prepping. Anticipating a bunch of fucking brain-dead zombies are just going to be too busy looking up at the sky and flooding areas that have like a totality view of it and just causing a ruckus and getting themselves hurt. I see now. You and the boys should make a video on who can look at the sun the longest during the eclipse. Actually, that's such a good idea. You know what we should do? We should do perineum tanning for it. That's the taint greasing, not taint greasing, the taint sunbathing, where you put your legs over your head and have your balls and shit facing the sun. I bet you'd get a crazy boost in testosterone from a total solar eclipse blasting you. Should have you be like the Hulk from gamma radiation or something. The sperm would go blind. Yeah, it'd be so powerful. I'm in the direct path, and certain drive-ins and movie theaters are holding little tailgating events. I like how we're talking about it like it's a fucking asteroid hurtling towards Earth. I'm in the direct path, meaning I'm in a really good spot to look up at the sky. Well, that's cute, though. That actually sounds wholesome. Please look up the red heifer cows. That's the issue. Wait, I actually know that. I actually know a little bit about that. But what does it have to do with the eclipse? I keep seeing people tripping about the eclipse and some red cow sacrifices. Some dude in Texas claiming to be a Christian sending cows to Israel for a Jewish sacrifice to usher on the rebuilding of the Third Temple. Pardon? I checked into it. Here are my thoughts if you care to listen. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm no expert. Can you even really be an expert on sacrificing red cows? It's nothing to be concerned with. There will be an eclipse and some extremists are going to kill some cows. If you're a conspiracy theorist and a Christian that was concerned, don't be. No man is going to get Jesus Christ to return. Only the Father will tell him when it's time. Nobody knows. So are we trying to summon Jesus? Is that what's going on? Like a ritual during the eclipse? Sacrificing red cows? No, this summons the Antichrist. Huh? No. Isn't the Antichrist, I think it's like a week before Doomsday or something, and it's supposed to be like a really powerful person presents himself, gains a lot of influence really quickly, and he's the Antichrist who ushers it all in or something. I don't think it has anything to do with the red heifer. So does this happen every eclipse and we just don't know about it? Great question. I don't know. They're actually doing it? Look it up. Well, I have no doubt there's probably some people sacrificing red cows. Like that, I totally believe there's some craziness afoot with that. As we await... Oh, this happens every time. Yeah, wait, this is from 2017. As we await the eclipse of 2017 AD, this post examines the possibility that the dramatic repentance of... Yeah. So it looks like this does happen on every single eclipse. My mom told me to call off on eclipse day and get as much food and necessities as I can because she thinks there's going to be no light. It's like, I don't know, that's kind of cute. Like, I can't even falter for that. That's just kind of cute, I guess. But I mean, we conquered the darkness already. We have the technology. So let's just assume the eclipse for some reason takes away all natural light. Brother, half the people in this stream right now haven't seen natural light in years because we have fucking light technology in our house. We'd be okay. We'd make it. But what about the plants? Fuck them. Who needs them? We conquered nature too. We'll eat. We'll find an alternative. We'll eat I don't know, filter feed or some shit. I don't know. We'd find something.
With the fact that God created our universe, I mean their symbol does have 3 sixes in it. And you guys remember the symbol I talked about earlier?
Oh.
This comes from their opening ceremony. You may be wondering, what even is that? As that is the head of the Baphomet. As you can see, it is a satanic symbol. Big question is, why would they have that at their opening ceremony? You want me to be
Does CERN have opening ceremonies like it's the Olympics or something? What? I didn't know that. That's news to me. That opening ceremony looks out of this world, though. Is that the particle accelerator people were tripping over and saying that'll open a hole to another dimension or something? You're right and wrong. You're just getting a couple of different things confused. So when the LHC first got operational, there was a doomsday theory that by colliding particles at such a rapid speed, there was a small chance of creating a penny-sized black hole, which could eventually swallow the world. But that turned out to be a bunch of hullabaloo. As an engineer, it'd be so freaking sick if we were summoning demons or hopping dimensions or whatever, and not just calibrating sensors for hours. Yeah, I'd be happy to hear about that kind of stuff, different dimensions and shit. I feel like anyone would be excited about that. I don't know. We look at it as a bad thing. So what? A couple demons come through or something. We just close a portal on them. They don't have the technology in hell, clearly, and it confirmed the existence of hell, which would be a net positive for everyone, I would think. Then we'd know. Open my third asshole. Well, you're a little confused, but you've got the right spirit. That's a scientific mind right there. But anyway, come April 8th, get ready. The eclipse is coming and you can't stop it. And CERN's opening a portal on it or something. For far too long now, the unexplainable mysteries of our universe have plagued humanity's greatest minds. But now, that time has passed. We've entered into an age of enlightenment. And I actually am convinced now that those so-called intellectuals, those scientists, weren't all that smart to begin with because those idiots never even thought to ask a YouTuber what the secrets of the universe hold. Because YouTubers know far more than anyone else on this planet. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say what everyone's thinking. YouTubers are probably the smartest people humanity has to offer, period. Bar none. And then under that, maybe then we could talk about astrophysicists. But even then, the gap between first and second place is so wide. When it comes to the intellectual food chain of society, YouTubers are at the tippy top, the cream of the crop. We're the apex predators of big brain. So what am I talking about here? Well, Logan Paul, with his degree in influencing, flexed his mega mind, all the billions of wrinkles in his brain, firing neurons working overtime in order to produce irrefutable evidence in how the universe actually functions. And he posted the receipts. He posted that proof on Twitter. He just flopped that meat on the table and said, "Here, I'll do it myself then." And I gotta tell you, it's impressive stuff. It's very compelling. And I think all of us are smarter now for having witnessed it. Please tell me you've seen Logan Paul's tweet about understanding the universe. Infinity as a concept doesn't exist in natural universe. Sphere, circle equals God shape, celestial body. Universe is likely finite. 3 contained, 3 spherical. Time infinite. Eventually all stars will die equals no more light. That's an and? What? This is an and? I've never seen that. That doesn't look anything like a normal and symbol, but alright. Eventually all stars will die, no more light. If universe is contained, has an end, can we assume apple in a box theory? When everything is dead and dust and becomes a dense collection of matter be gravity. Oh, because gravity. Black holes everywhere. Bro, what? Did he go on like an ayahuasca trip or something? Like, what the fuck is this? The universe essentially collapses on itself. High density and temperature. Big Bang. Universe repeats. Life is cyclical. We become the apple again. Conclusion. Nothing matters except the time we have now and each other. Love. A force of attraction similar to gravity. Black holes, wormholes, laws of physics no longer apply. Infinity exists. Multiverse. But who/what created and why? God. He's done it. He's achieved nirvana. He's in the mainframe of the universe. It's all laid out right in front of us. We can see her bare bottom. On the table, he has placed it upon us. We get to gaze into the infinite wisdom and see the universe for the truth of what it is. This is like some filler shit they'd have in like a B movie for a villain. Like right before the villain commits some kind of horrible atrocity, they're like flipping through his sketchbook and it's like, oh, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And then the next page is like burning bodies. What in the Moonfall? This is some very Moonfall shit. I'm surprised he didn't go into like mega structurist kind of shit. Exactly, yeah. Moon hollow, but why? Because infinite temperature, but apple. I don't think Logan's an idiot. I think he knows exactly what he's doing with this shit. I think he was hoping to get people talking by posting some lunacy. It didn't, I don't think it like really worked for him though. This didn't get like crazy engagement. He just kind of got laughed at, it seems. He's trying to get people to buy Prime. I know. I am curious if Logan Paul actually converts and gets people to buy the product. Because I feel like it's KSI that actually does all of the heavy lifting. I feel like every promotional piece Logan Paul does is laughable. Like, I feel like he actively deters from people taking it seriously. Meanwhile, KSI fucking crushes it. There is countless theories on the end times and how the world will end, and signs that will showcase the end of the world is nigh. And I hate to be the one to break this news to you, but I have been sending you signs that there is a doomsday along the way. I have been dressing differently, aside from today. Today I'm back in the white t-shirt, but on the whole, I've been wearing black t-shirts, gray t-shirts, and as God is my witness, I tell ya, I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but a V-neck sweater. And the thing is, I've been working on upgrading my wardrobe. This is one of those telltale signs, I think it even ties back into the Bible at some point about how, you know, the apocalypse will roll through, that the end of the world is on its way. And now we have confirmation that there's a chance. Apophis, 2029. I don't know how many of you heard about this. I'm, of course, exaggerating. It's predicted, and I think it's like almost 100% certain to miss Earth, but it will be a close call, and it is a giant space rock barreling in this direction. Now, of course, that's nothing new. That's business as usual in the cosmos. The only thing that makes this a little different is typically something of this size gets intercepted by Jupiter, who basically plays goalie for us. Jupiter absorbs a lot of things that would potentially hit Earth. We're in a really fortuitous position to be where we are in the solar system, but this one is going to get around Jupiter here, get past that defense system, and it is going to make a pretty close pass to Earth. But even that's not that unusual either. There's a lot of fear-mongering headlines about Apophis coming up, and I just went over it on stream and kind of want to talk about it a little bit, mainly because its name is the God of Chaos, so it's a pretty scary-sounding name, like straight out of a fucking anime. And I just find it to be extremely interesting. I don't think there's anything to worry about come 2029, but I thought I'd at least put it on your radar. If you remember the Apophis asteroid, you can see how close it will get if you go to... You can see how close it will get if you go to Eye on the solar system and set the date to April 13th, 2029. Well, it's not going to hit us, so I don't care how close it gets. Fuck it. But that was an interesting read when we went over that. Okay, wait. Hold on, there's a new headline. NASA launches mission to intercept God of Chaos asteroid before it scratches Earth's orbit. What the fuck kind of headline is that? Wait, this one says it's the Demon of Chaos. Which one's the correct one? Looks like God of Chaos. A NASA spacecraft recently returned from deep space has been relaunched for a mission to study the God of Chaos asteroid as it begins to near Earth's orbit. The agency's spacecraft OSIRIS-REx, now named OSIRIS-APEX, has been set off to study the asteroid Apophis' extremely close flyby of Earth in 2029, the likes of which hasn't happened since the dawn of recorded history. Well, I wasn't worried about it before, but reading this, I'm starting to get a little concerned. The God of Chaos, huh? Apophis, known as the God of Chaos, is expected to fly by Earth on April 13th, 2029, only about 20,000 miles away, closer than some man-made satellites, and could even be visible in the Eastern Hemisphere. That would be the most terrifying thing imaginable. You're just hanging out outside. Maybe you're coming back from playing a little pickup ball with the boys, and you look up and you're like, oh my god, it's a fucking asteroid. That would be terrifying. They ruled it basically has no chance of impact. Well, that's what I read last time. But now, reading these headlines that they have a mission to intercept the God of Chaos, it's like, well, are we sure there's no chance? The rock, which measures about 370 yards across, only comes this close to Earth every 7,500 years. Earth's gravity will affect the space rock as it nears orbit, and OSIRIS-APEX will study the aftermath to see how its surface changes. The effects of Earth are expected to change the length of the asteroid's day, which is currently around 30.6 hours. It could also cause the God of Chaos to experience landslides and quakes. Apophis is a giant cobra, and the Egyptian demon god of chaos, the sun god Ra, fights him every night after the sun goes down. Oh, that's the lore. We know that tidal forces and the accumulation of rubble pile material are foundational processes that could play a role in a planet formation. They could inform how we got from debris in the early solar system to full-blown planets. The spacecraft will meet the S-type asteroid on April 13, 2029, but will not land on it, rather operate in proximity to it for 18 months. Not only will it look at surface changes, but it will map the surface and analyze the rock chemical makeup. Thanks for the membership, Zach. It will also go within 16 feet of the rock's surface so it can fire its thrusters downward to see what stirs up, giving scientists a peek at the material that lies below. Although the rock is still 5 years away from Earth, scientists will be watching as it nears its first of 6 close passes with the sun. Earth server shutting down? I hope not. 2029, that's way too early. Florida won't even be underwater by then. What a shame that would be. If it was confirmed to hit in 2029, what would you do with your last 5 years on Earth? Probably find a way to get off Earth. I don't know. Thanks to Prime Topaz. I wouldn't just, like, wait for it, and I wouldn't do, like... I mean, I'd, of course, do things I've always wanted to do but was afraid to, like go to Japan and all that. But I'd also just try and find ways to survive. I wouldn't just, like, you know, put it in the books. I'd be like, alright, there's got to be a way. You're afraid of Japan? I'm afraid of flying. Yeah, I guess I said that wrong. I'm afraid of flying, which prevents me from going to Japan. Bro just wants teleportation. Absolutely, who doesn't? That'd be the best invention we'd ever come up with. Teleportation would be the handiest thing imaginable. I couldn't think of a more important discovery. You jump right at impact so you wouldn't die. Oh, you'd get iframes. So when the asteroid hits, you'd survive. Interesting. But I feel like it'd be a lingering hitbox. It's not just going to be the impact itself. It'll be everything that comes after. So you probably wouldn't be able to outlast the hitbox. I really feel like we have to have the ability to destroy an asteroid, right? They can't be that strong. It's just a fucking rock. It's just a space rock. It doesn't even have conscious thought. It's not even sentient. I feel like we could absolutely just blow it up. Nuke it. Maybe a giant laser. We already redirected an asteroid with DART. Did we? I feel like that, actually that does sound familiar. I feel like I read about that. This year an asteroid came as close as 17,000 miles. This one is 22,000 miles. It'd be really handy if we could like slow it down and just bring it to Earth and just harvest it. I imagine you get so much good materials from that shit. Maybe what we need is a giant net to catch it. And like gently bring it in. Or even don't even bring it in. Just keep it in orbit and mine it. That's what they tried to do in Don't Look Up. Yeah, they did it wrong though. They should have had me theorize how to slow down the asteroid. I've got a good idea. A giant pitcher's glove, or catcher's glove. Giant mitt. Just let it blast into it. There's no material strong enough to catch an asteroid moving at 10,000 meters per second. Well, what do you know? I'm sure we have something. Maybe like a giant diamond net. Diamonds are like really strong. Or maybe we slow it down with a few nukes. Like we blast it a couple times and it's like, ooh, shit. And it starts pumping the brakes. If you nuke it, then the nuke rocks would still fall on us. Which is why we have tinier little gloves out there catching those before they get to Earth. Basically what I'm setting up is Earth with just a bunch of giant mitts. Like I'm putting us in a bubble. Would you rather have teleportation or the Force? Stupid question. Teleportation. Why would I care about the Force? Teleportation is so much more useful. I heard that there's new material made out of human DNA and glass that's 4 times stronger than steel and 5 times as light. I'm not sure though. I haven't heard anything about that. It sounds like you were watching anime or something. Human DNA and glass? How do those two even mix? So what's the plan if Florida suddenly goes under? Underwater or hit by an asteroid? Because if I'm hit by an asteroid, I don't have a whole lot of planning time. But underwater, I have time. Florida will eventually be underwater. That's going to happen. And my plan for when that happens is I'll just go a little up north. The video of 1,000-mile-per-hour ball from Dustin Smarter Every Day debunks your theory. Which theory? I've proposed like 6. Which of my bulletproof theories gets debunked? This looks cool. What the fuck is this?
Of all the galaxies in space.
God damn, this is some crazy production for a YouTube video. What the fuck? Have you seen porn? Yeah, I've heard of it before, yeah. What about this video brought that question up? Is that what you get out of aliens? Look at that shithole.
What we see around us is staggering.
Dumbass fucking space rock.
First, you need energy.
Gamer energy.
But
fundamental to all life.
Well, planets are great.
How much do you think this was to make?
And our early Earth was almost...
Definitely more than like $100. Or maybe someone on Fiverr made it, to be fair. People on Fiverr are so fucking talented. I was looking at the artists on Fiverr the other day. Those people are crazy good.
Contain huge ocean.
Oh god. It's like a James Bond intro. This is so well made. Like, I feel like I'm smarter now for having watched this. God, that must have been miserable. Stupid idiots should have just waited till 2020. Dummies. Then they would have the internet and shit. That's only 12 light That's only 12 light years away. That's like a brisk walk. Fuck, the water got stuck. I wish we could just fucking find aliens already. Can you imagine if we found aliens, what that would do for our species? I really feel like finding aliens or aliens visiting us and making like a YouTube video or like a fucking Twitch live stream of saying like, hey, we're fucking aliens on your planet would be so good for us. I think they would hate us. No, I don't think... Why would they hate us? I mean, if they went on Twitter, they would, but we could just give them the best parts of us. No, what if there's no disease out in space, though? Like viruses, bacteria, and all that shit doesn't exist in space. No, 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 no. There's no proof. We've never seen a virus in space. Is that a fact? I'm gonna look that up. Bacteria is... That would count as life, man. I don't think we found bacteria in space, have we? Let's see. Like Mars bacteria? Evidence for microbial life on Mars. Fossilized bacteria. Nope. So that's as close as we've gotten, it seems. Yeah, so chat's wrong. Like I said, we haven't discovered any bacteria or viruses out in space. Maybe they don't exist. Maybe it's only like really large-chested, beautiful space women out there. And also, if aliens visit us and they die to our viruses, who gives a fuck? We only need them for like a minute. Just to prove they exist. Then they can vaporize or whatever. It doesn't matter. God damn. Yeah, but if there is life in our solar system, they're just as dumb as we are. It means they haven't figured out faster than light travel yet. I wouldn't even want to meet them. Their IQ's probably low as fuck. How would we communicate with them? I don't know, man. The Rosetta Stone? I have no clue. Fucking Duolingo? You're asking the wrong guy.
We're going to understand the implications of that.
Intelligent life probably isn't common, though. No, I bet it is. I bet they have some fucking bomb-ass battle royale video games in space.
Potential signs of habitability in their atmosphere. And here we are on the verge of finding that out.
That would be, it would be so fucking cool, even just to see like a tiny bacteria somewhere out in space to know it's there, and then just kind of monitor it, like a little pet out in space. Why is the music ramping up like this? Is it about to reveal the aliens are coming? Christ! No, tell him not to! Holy shit! We're going too deep! God, they nuked outer space. Fuck. Man, the universe is such a weird thing. Like, what a goofball, right? Like, just spontaneously combusting into creating, like, an entire fucking giant, like, unimaginably huge place. Like, it's crazy. How silly. See, this is exactly what I fucking proposed, which NASA's kind of doing. We send missiles of cum to space. We can see to other planets. We just need to find a way to keep the cum warm while it travels. Man, look at all this space out here behind the Big Bang. Who lives out here? Galactus? Man, the universe is such a fucking crazy concept. Just from nothing, from nowhere, there just was particles, and they just blew up one day or whatever. Crazy. The universe is cringe. Yeah. Universe is kind of posting cringe. We very well could be alone. Maybe our memes are too dank and they want nothing to do with us. It's anyone's guess. That'd be rough. These two sides would never get along with each other here. Oh, it'll absolutely take the form of Redditors. A whole planet of Redditors. Can you imagine the paradise, the utopia? That's the optimal form for life. This is where Yahoo Answers brings us. Yeah, if only we'd listen to Yahoo Answers, we could have civilizations like this. Now I feel very small in such a big world. And very small by Earth standards too, I suppose. Well done, Melody Sheep. That shit banged. Flat Earthers versus scientists. Can we trust science? Well, before even watching it, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. Yes. If there's one thing in the world you can trust, it's probably going to be science. The fucking hot dog man or flat earthers probably aren't the most reliable source of shit you can trust, I would say. That's like trusting the guy who sells you laced weed behind the dumpster to trust him with your finances. Alright, now I'm ready for action. Let's see if we can truly trust science. It's been a question on my mind for a long time. I'd always debate Who's more reliable, a flat earther who's sniffing their own farts and shitting in their diaper, or science? And it's really a toss-up.
Hey guys. Puzzle piece, and then one of those pieces just wasn't fitting. I'm on.
Discussion groups, panels. We've gone against opposition.
I have a sneaking suspicion all three of these are anti-vaxxers as well.
Earth is its own worst
In fact, I'm sorry, Wendell, to step on your toes over there, because I know you're a cornucopia of great information and calorie crusading, but I have to know. Is there actual documents from NASA saying the Earth is flat?
Yeah, sure. We do make assumptions.
God, it's gotta suck arguing with people with the mentality of an 8-year-old.
It's the same thing. I have never seen one flat earther use math to prove their point.
You're wrong, actually. There's on a serious note, there's a Flat Earth documentary where they did use math and immediately proved themselves wrong at the end of it, so.
I hear the reasonable voice and say,
Look, anybody who can overturn Einstein or some major theory